This is the 3 p.m. Takeover, Radio Northern Beach's only drive-home show.
Keep it right here for a whole hour of fresh hits and entertainment for your Wednesday afternoon.
Here we go.
Hit it.
This is Just Can't Get Enough by the Black Eyed Peas. This is the 3 p.m. Takeover. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope you enjoyed that first hit. That was a bit of a throwback, Black Eyed Peas.
I think that's one of their later songs, though. Like, I remember that coming out when I was a bit older, like high school age.
That's still like a while ago now. Hope we're getting old, okay? We're getting old.
I'm getting to that point in life where you start to be able to say, oh, yeah, like 15 years ago, I remember something. And when I was a child, I always thought I could never imagine being like, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
But now I can, and it's horrifying.
Yep.
It's like when you get to that point where you look back and you think, what was I wearing? You get old enough to do that as well.
Mine is always, I always look back and I'm like, why did I brush my hair? I have very curly hair, listeners. And if I brush it, it just goes fuzzy. And for some reason, it was a good couple of years in a row where I would brush my hair.
It was
and
probably a good look in those days.
No, it wasn't. I've seen the photos. It was not good.
But it might have been good for that period.
No.
I don't know. I was trying to be nice.
Thank you. Trying to be supportive.
I was.
I'm so glad you didn't know me back then. I don't think you'd want to be friends with me now if you knew how bad my fashion sense was. Anyway.
God, I have an interesting story.
Yes.
Okay. So do you remember Second Life, that like virtual game where you're an avatar or whatever?
I feel like I've heard of it, but it's not really. There aren't many bells ringing.
There's
maybe one very
it.
quiet one at the back of the room, but
no, I always remember it because it's a virtual world where you can meet people and like get jobs and like do all these different things. But I remember hearing about it when it came out because it was so scary because some people, especially in the US, would get so obsessed that like they wouldn't function normally in their daily lives. Like they'd quit their job to just play Second Life all the time. And like they would like never leave their house because they'd be so involved in Second Life and all the people they knew in Second Life that like they didn't have a first life, and it was really weird.
I don't understand that. I get when people are really into like, I guess like World of Warcraft and those kind of ones because it's very like alternate universe where there's like different creatures and there's magic and stuff. But when it's like that Second Life, it's literally just like the normal world but online. I'm like,
it is. Like,
I don't
exactly
get it.
The same.
You could go out and do all that stuff. The point of the other games is that like you're in a different time period or like a different world where there is magic, and I get the appeal of that. But this Second Life, I can't believe someone like quit their job to play it because I'm like, but in the game you're doing a job, like.
It's so weird. But yeah, so people have different careers and characteristics and whatever in Second Life. So essentially it's like a virtual world. And I found out a really weird story. So someone who is living in Brisbane had an avatar in the game who, she was like really into, and she played the game all the time. And about 10 years ago, she met a guy in the reality world called Patrick. He was from Sweden. And they knew nothing about each other, but they like made their avatars get together, and like they built like a virtual avatar home together and like did all these things together and had like virtual children.
That's kind of cute.
The
virtual children's a little bit weird.
Yeah. Next minute they decided to meet like 3 years after they'd done this in Stockholm.
That would be so weird.
And they actually got together.
Do they know what each other looks like? Do they know what each other looks like?
Yeah, because they look the same as their avatars.
Oh, okay.
But like they've met and now they live together. It's been 10 years and he's like emigrated from Sweden and now they live together in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that so weird?
Wow.
Imagine if that was your story. And so they're like, now we're going to...
So how did you meet?
Well, and now they're like thinking about getting married, but they're already married in their virtual world. So they're like, we already feel like we've done it. Because they're so entrenched in that world that
Do you reckon they celebrate that anniversary, like a real anniversary?
Yeah, like I get the feeling they're a little weird. But like, my gosh. Isn't that so strange?
Wow. How old are these people? Like, are they quite young or are they like a little bit older? Or?
Well, the girl's about our age and I think the guy's about 10 years older.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's really, I can't imagine that. But in saying that,
I think that's so weird.
I never imagined myself like having a full-time job or like going and having like going a uni degree when I was like in primary school. So I guess you can't really imagine that kind of forethought, but I guess, I don't know.
Still though, it's really weird. I've always been scared off by any kind of online anything that involves you interacting with other people that are actually on the other side.
Like
of
strangers?
Yes, it creeps me out. Even when it's not a scary one. Like, my mum plays this game where she plays crosswords with, like, random people from across the world. And she's like, I don't know who they are. And I'm like, She'll just log in and they'll have, like, completed a word. And I'm like, that's so scary. Like, why do you do this?
That's funny. I think...
So weird.
I guess it can be. Yeah, I've never really thought about it like that. I don't really play those, like, games where you're across different places. Like, I know people who have, like, they have the headsets and they'll talk in, like, Xbox and PlayStation and, like,
Ew,
you can go online and play, and it can be, you can make it so it's just your group of friends, but you can also do it so it's kind of, like, open, so you can be with anyone in the world. You can be on, like, on a team with or whatever. And I think that'd be so strange because just the thing of, like, you'd log in and not know what accent the other person's going to have. Yeah, because they talk to you. Because if it's your friends, you know all their voices, but when they start talking, you'd be like, oh, wait, hang on, I'm not used to your voice yet. Like,
oh, it's so weird. I don't know anything about games, but, you know, whatever. We can...
Do they, in Second Life, do they talk? Like, can they speak?
I don't know.
Or is it just like...
Maybe they have, like, speech bubbles or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think they do. Yeah, they do. Cool. But not like their actual voice. I think you, like, type in text.
Oh, okay.
I know. Anyway.
That's cute. I'm excited for the first, like, rom-com movie to come out where that's the plot line.
About that, yeah. Anyway, we're going to be back after this, and we're going to be talking about a couple of special events that are coming up on the beaches, so do not go away. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches with Hope and Victoria. Hi, guys. We are getting into the show, and my kind of favourite thing to talk about, weirdly enough, is different things happening on the beaches, I guess. Like, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It's about the beaches.
There's always some great events going on. So
there's always things happening.
Especially now that like it's getting warmer, there's a lot more events now that spring and summer are ahead of us.
When you live on the beach, the best time of year to be out and about is the warmer weather because there are so many cool things that you can, I guess, attend when you live so close to the coast.
Yeah.
And I miss
the coast.
Close to the coast.
Close to the coast.
I don't live as close to the coast as I used to.
Oh. I live closer to the coast than I used to.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
It's like tongue twisters.
It is.
So I now live about 40 minutes from the beach.
Oh, are you surviving that? Because you used to love having the beach like 10 minutes away.
I loved having it close. It's a shame because since I have to put in like the extra time to go, I don't get time as often. But
see, I have the opposite.
Mind.
I don't like living closer because we can't put anything like metal near our windows because we get like the salt in the air, and it literally we had this this hole puncher and it rusted because it was sitting next to an open window, and Mum and I are like, salt air. It's That's so true. Frustrating.
That is kind of difficult.
Like the problems we have.
It's so hard.
Northern
right
beaches
on the
problems. First world problems.
Oh dear. But anyway, there are a couple of really, really great events coming up, as you mentioned. So it's actually the Manly Art Festival at the moment.
Ooh.
And that's going to be on until the 30th. And this is its 22nd year. It's a long time.
Whoa,
right?
It's as old as we are, basically. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. So you can go onto the Northern Beaches Council website and download the information flyer about it. But there are lots of really cool events. There are musicians, there are arts and dance performances. And then you can go and visit the Manly Art Gallery and Museum and the Warringah Creative Space.
That'll be fun.
It's good. I like art events. I'm personally not a big art person in terms of doing it, but I like attending events.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. Whereas you were an art doer.
Yes, but I'm not an art goer as much as I wish I was.
Yeah, I'm more of a goer than a doer.
But it's more than I think it's more than I'm like a homey person. I don't like leaving the house in general, regardless of the event. I'm such a hermit. What's the next event?
So I never know how to say it. It's either sup ball or soup ball. I think soup, SUPBALL, soup ball, which I've seen before. Registrations are now open to play down at Manly until the 3rd of October. Do you know what soup ball is?
No, I was going to say, can you give us like a really quick description of it? Because I don't know what it is.
It's really cool. So it's basically like if you combined a sort of dodgeball with cricket with paddleboarding.
Okay.
So with like you're on your paddleboard and you use your oar to like maneuver the ball around.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's really cool.
So fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Registrations are open right now for teams down at Manly Wharf to play a summer season.
I want that to be in the Olympics so badly.
Hitting balls with an oar from a paddleboard.
Do lots of people fall off? Because that would be like the best part is people falling off from like lack of balance. It'd be so funny.
It's quite easy to stand up on a paddleboard, but having to then like hit a ball.
That's what I think.
Is another
yeah,
because
if you're moving just your arms, but if you're like turning your body to hit something, I feel like you'd overbalance really quickly.
Weird.
Well, you guys should all head down and check it out and let me know if anyone falls over.
Sounds like fun, right, though?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. The other thing is that it's actually going to be Bike Week.
Bike week.
Next
Are we talking
week.
motorbikes or push bikes or BMX bikes?
Cycling bikes.
Cycling bikes. Cool.
Yeah. So next week is Bike Week for 2016. So the council are running a number of events. There's pop-up stalls, bike skills workshops, cycling breakfast, bike maintenance, guided rides, all sorts of different things. So again, you can find out more information about that on the council website.
Fun.
Fun.
Let us
Bikes are
know which
fun.
ones you go to.
Cycling is something I wish I did more of, but it's just not something you do if you don't own a bike, and I don't own one anymore.
I'm a terrible cyclist. I actually don't like cycling. It freaks me out.
I really enjoy it. But I haven't done it for a long time, so I feel like I feel a bit shaky when I got back on. But I do enjoy it.
See,
But
I don't have the confidence to go fast, and so I wobble a lot more. But you got to go fast to like stay upright more, but I don't want to go fast. Yeah. So I have this like very much weird paradoxical love-hate with cycling.
Oh, no, I go fast. I'm happy for that. But
good.
I'm not, I just don't do it much. And I thought I would go and cycle around the new pathway thing they built at Narrabeen Lagoon. And then I discovered it's like $30 to hire a bike for 1 hour.
Oh.
And I was like, haha, I'll stay home.
I'll just walk it.
So that was my story. So if anybody has a bike that they want to lend me, I'm going to come round to your house and get it. And so then I can go cycling.
That sounds like you're going to steal it. Are you going to give it back?
Maybe. Maybe.
We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. That was Marilyn Monroe by Pharrell Williams. I hope you enjoyed that. When the song started, I said to Hope, there's a bunch of historical like female leaders in this. And Hope was like, no, there's only Marilyn Monroe. I was like, no, there's a couple of others. And I was right. There was Cleopatra and Joan of Arc.
I think I remember the Joan of Arc one, but I forgot Cleopatra and other people were in there.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
And that kind of segues us very nicely because you have a history quiz for me, and those were women of history, I suppose.
I do. And look, the reason that I decided to do this is
because you want to just make me so embarrassed by how little I know about the world.
No,
Although
it
I watched every episode of QI, so I think you actually might be surprised how much I absorb.
It's true. No, it's because today was a very important day in history, but I can't remember why. But that's why I decided to do the segment. But now I can't remember why, so, whatever.
So topical.
Live in the present,
Live in the now.
You know what? On this day many years ago, something good happened. I just can't remember what it was. But
Or something bad.
No, I think it was a good thing.
Okay, that's
why I decided that we'd talk about it. But
okay.
when I remember what that thing is, I will inform you on our Facebook page. So
Excellent.
make sure you are watching.
Stay tuned, guys.
To find out what today was famous for.
Stay plugged into all our social media outlets.
Just because you definitely want to know about what
Or
this
you can
was.
just Google it yourself right now. You can Google on this day.
That's true.
We could do that, actually. No, that's too easy. Let's leave them in suspense. Let's get on with the quiz.
Okay, so because of that, I decided to do like a history-style famous events in history quiz.
Okay.
And it's like a well-known fact. If there are any listeners listening that know Victorian person, she hates history.
I don't hate it. I just
thought
find
I'd
it
make this
incredibly
your-
boring.
So I thought that it's like, when your mum says, don't use hate, that's a strong word, say dislike.
Yeah, okay.
Victoria
I
dislikes
strongly
history.
dislike history.
So for that reason, I thought I would quiz you on history.
But
I
in
don't know.
saying that,
I'm a mean host.
I do love a good historical biopic movie.
All right.
Like Imitation Game, hit me up. Young Victoria, hit me up. I love those kind of movies. But like reading about history, I just find it so boring. It needs to be in a really consumable context, like a movie or a TV show, for me to actually get into
Like
it.
a movie with lots of interesting added fiction.
And and lots of like very overly attractive actors who clearly like don't really represent the people that were around back then. But I'm going to pretend that everyone was
that's
clean
true.
and everyone had really neat eyebrows back then. I'm happy pretending that.
And was clean shaven and stuff.
Yep. It's always the eyebrows.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you all have such neat eyebrows? That wasn't a thing back then.
True.
Anyway.
Okay, so are you ready
Yes.
for your history quiz?
As I'll ever be.
All right. Question 1. When did World War I begin?
World War One, 1914.
Yes, you didn't even need your multiple choice.
There's options.
Yes.
I was about to go 1939. I was like, no, that's World War Two.
So, well, there you go. You knew
Yeah.
that.
Okay. If all the questions are like this, I could actually do quite well because this is
Thing.
general
I've
history.
got options for you.
Okay.
General
okay.
history.
Okay.
Nothing too specific. Okay. Hitler was born in which country?
Austria.
France,
Can't I just guess if I know it?
You guessed.
Okay.
You're too good at this. You don't even need options. Yes, Austria. Okay.
Yeah.
American history.
Oh, no.
JFK was assassinated in A, 1973, B, Austin, C, Dallas,
Wait, what?
or D, 1958.
What? That's not a set of options.
They are. 2 of them are places and 2 of them are dates.
Oh, I thought they were all going to be dates. Can I have all the options again? I got thrown by the fact that not the answers were so different.
1958, 1973, Austin, or Dallas.
Oh gosh, I'm going to say 1958. I have no clue. JFK just exists in like a floating universe where he's not set in time. I know he is, but like I don't know anything about him. I know his wife is called Jackie and that's about it.
Oh, there we go. That'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4. Who fought in the War of 1812?
There was a war in 1812.
Was it Andrew Jackson, Arthur Wellesley, Otto von Bismarck, or Napoleon?
1812. I think Napoleon was earlier. So maybe he wasn't.
Do you think that?
I've been to a restaurant that used to be a hotel that he visited once in New Orleans, and I can't for the life of me remember the dates of where that place was. So I'm going to go with Napoleon because it's the only name I recognise in that list. And I really kind of want it to be that Otto guy because that's a great name. I'm going to say Napoleon.
Okay.
I know his wife's name, Josephine. Can't you ask me questions? I don't know his last name. Can't you ask me questions I actually know about?
Maybe. Okay. American involvement in the Korean War took place in which decade? 70s, 80s, 60s, or 20s?
Oh my goodness.
No, sorry. 70s, 50s, 20s, or 60s?
Oh. Vietnam was the 70s, wasn't it?
Depends which Vietnamese war you're talking about. There were 2.
There was more than one Vietnamese war.
Yeah, there were 2.
I'm going to say 70s for the Korean War because I think it's the one we don't hear about like ever.
Interesting choice.
I think someone in my family was in the Korean War.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so weird. Were they Korean?
No. I think they went over and fought. I don't know.
What, were they American?
No, they were British at the time. Were the British involved?
At the time?
Well, then they became Australian when they moved to Australia.
Oh, okay.
He was a cop in Britain. Oh, so maybe it was like the 60s. That might actually make more sense. Oh, goodness. Was 60s an option or was 50s an option?
50s was an option.
I don't think it was 50s.
That sounds too long ago.
Yeah.
I'm liking your powers of deduction here. Well, let's move on. We'll go with the 70s.
Okay.
The Battle of Hastings in 1066 was in what country? France, Russia, England, or Norway?
Oh, no. It was either France or England because the Battle of Hastings was between William What's-His-Face with through his thing and the tapestry. Maybe.
And the tapestry?
Well, it's not actually a tapestry. It's an embroidery. It's a tapestry. Is this the same battle?
You're on the right page.
Oh, gosh. I learnt about this. I did a whole segment on it in a class I took, which ended up... I took this class in history in university, which ended up being about history, and I didn't know that. You can imagine that was a fun semester for me. I'm going to say it was in... Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to say it was in England.
Okay. Last question.
Thank God.
In 1594.
Oh, yeah. Let me just cast my mind back.
To a solid 400 years before you were born.
Yeah.
William Shakespeare joined the company of which London theatre? Was it Broadway, the Oxford University? I don't know why that made me laugh.
No, my mind just went straight to like the classic, that big frill neck thing he wears in that portrait drawing, and then like a body with jazz hands for Broadway. Broadway.
Was it Broadway, the Globe, the London Palladium, or Oxford University Theatre?
What was the second one?
London Palladium.
I think it's that or Globe, because I can't remember if the Globe Theatre was built after him or to house his plays. Maybe it already existed. I haven't actually seen Shakespeare in Love. That would help. That's a fictitious historical adaptation.
It is. One of the things where you can learn
I'm going to say Globe because that's the only one that I know of.
Solid choice.
Thanks.
All
it's
right.
going to be wrong, but it's still a solid choice.
If you keep listening after these 2 songs, you're going to find out how well Victoria knows her history. So do not
Or how
go
not
away.
well.
Or how not way. That is true. We've got a little bit of Bruno Mars coming up for you now. You're listening to The Takeover. Welcome back. That was Pay My Rent by DNCE. And before that, we had Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. Two really good songs, especially DNCE. They're like doing their thing. Isn't there a Jonas brother in that band?
Yes, Joe is the lead singer.
There we go.
I'll be sure or no, let's just ask her.
Well, I think you quite
I can tell you what they're all doing. I did,
you?
yes. I was a very big fan. Wait, I am. Just because they disbanded doesn't mean my heart disbanded.
It's true. They were a little bit after our time, I feel. So I never got into them.
Our generation of girls missed boy bands. Like there was just a drought of them. So when they came back a little bit too late, I was like, I don't care. I need my fix. I need to go through the natural.
I'm going back.
I need the natural process. So I was well into boy bands. Still am.
See, I think and I think we were talking about this in our special.
I'm having flashbacks to this conversation.
I sort of latched on to boy bands that were like a little bit earlier than my generation. Like I really latched on to
the Beatles and stuff.
No, not that far away.
You do like the Beatles though.
Yeah, but everybody does. In terms of like modern music.
Generalization.
In terms of like modern music that you're listening to as a kid, I really latched on to like Hanson Brothers and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah.
Stuff that was like slightly pre my time, but I went back.
Yeah, you're
like,
it's got that 90s flavour to it.
Yeah,
instead of early 2000s flavour.
Yeah, rather than that tween flavour.
Yeah.
So I went with that. But anyway, I have interesting news. For the first time in a really long time, somebody in Michigan has said that they've seen Bigfoot.
What's Bigfoot been up to? Has he just been like hibernating?
They just saw him like walking behind a rock, and now they've like alerted the world. They were camping.
Is there only one Bigfoot? Because they've used the singular word.
It's true. See, I always thought that, so I did some research on Bigfoot. So, do you want to hear?
Yes, I want to see your search history on Bigfoot.
Okay, good. Well, it's not known whether he's real. We're going to go with no. Depends how you like to talk about things.
So is Bigfoot a Yeti?
No.
Because I always thought
is a Bigfoot.
I always thought Bigfoot was like the forest version, and like a Yeti was like the mountain snowy version. Kind of like how like there's grizzly bears and polar bears. They're kind of the same animal, but in a different location.
No, because Yetis are real. But,
are they?
Yeah, but Bigfoot is not real.
How do you know Yetis are real? Have we found one and like properly like caught one?
Yeah, isn't it a thing?
No, I think they're all still theories.
I don't know, but anyway, I know that Bigfoot is definitely not real. But Bigfoot is
well, apparently not. This person just found one.
Well, yeah, Bigfoot is a type of animal. So there are multiple Bigfoots.
So there are big feet.
Yeah.
There are feet out there.
Bigfoots, whatever you want to call them. But
that's not the correct pluralization of the word.
This is the thing. They're said to
Bigfoot-eye.
They're meant to look like like a cross between a gorilla and a person. So basically a person, but like extra hairy. They're meant to be about 7 foot tall. And they're meant to weigh up to around 400
How do they know
kilos.
how much they weigh?
I don't know.
But how do they know?
Don't question me. I'm not a Bigfoot finder. Listen to this anyway.
Okay.
Their footprints are about 50 centimeters in length.
That's a big foot. Oh, I get it.
It is. Oh my gosh. Their hair is a dark brown auburn kind of color. People claim to have seen black, brown, and a kind of tan colored Bigfoot.
Okay, so it is like a species, not a singular
No, it's
foot.
a species. And their features, they have a large brow and a flat black nose and thin human-like lips.
You know how there was that time in like prehistoric, like when like Homo sapiens were evolving and Neanderthals were around at the same time? Mm-hmm. What if Bigfoot are just like Neanderthals? Because we're different species, but we're very similar. But Homo sapiens were just evolved faster and better and stronger. And apparently Neanderthals didn't have the sort of, genetic makeup and tool using ability to keep up, and they died out. But what if they didn't? What if they just became Bigfoot?
Well, that's the idea. Like, that's what they're supposed to like.
I totally get all the conspiracy theories now.
Yeah, that's what they're meant to
real.
be. Like, that they didn't die out and like they've actually evolved into this thing called Bigfoot, because people have been documenting like seeing Bigfoot since the 1300s.
But they're always the same. They're always the same, like this kind of pose, and it's always really blurry, like a little arm behind you, and he's walking. And
no, I've seen a few.
The ones I always see are always that pose, and it always looks like it could just be a man in a very big parka.
No, because there's a famous photo. I think it was from like the 40s or 50s. Someone who was in the US saw Bigfoot leap a 10-foot river.
Oh.
And like got a photo of him leaping or something. But anyway, it's really interesting. How
have I never seen this photo? Wouldn't that be bigger news?
Well, no, it happened a long time ago.
Wouldn't it still be big news? Anyway.
Bigfoot news? I think it's an old thing now. But anyway, Bigfoot in terms of like a modern thing became huge in the 1760s when 3 English women were attacked by supposedly Bigfoot. And then...
Oh, that's a man in a coat for sure, right?
And then after that, the Americans kind of picked up on it. And since then, it's been a predominantly American thing. And everyone that's claimed
to have seen... Is it only an American thing? Or is he...
Well, it is now.
Has Bigfoot appeared in other countries?
Well, he must have done since he attacked these people in the UK.
Oh, in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So this was in the UK.
And then he just jumped over the Atlantic, did he?
Well, in the last 200 years, the only people that have claimed to see Bigfoot have been in the US. But I don't think that necessarily means it's an American thing.
But if it was in the UK or anywhere and these things died, wouldn't we have found the body? It's 2016. Surely we have the technology, like drones and heat sensors stuff, to actually see, whether there's an animal or especially a really big animal out there. If they can track bears and stuff.
I don't know how seriously people take Bigfoot. I think that the kind of people that research into it are not.
But this technology is not expensive or hard to use.
Yeah, but I think that people science says no, so I think anyone that would have the capability or the means to does not research it. It's the same kind of people that research crop circles and alien invasion and that kind of thing.
But it's like back when what's his face said that the earth wasn't flat, and the given thing at the time was to follow the church. The church was like, yeah, no, and he was seen as crazy. I feel like this is the opposite end. Science is saying no, even though these people have sort of got, I guess, facts with them. I don't know. Don't get me started on the Loch Ness Monster.
I don't know. But anyway, listen to this. This is interesting.
Okay.
In 1965, Bigfoot was put on the endangered species list in Russia and Germany and France.
Oh, that's really odd.
And in 18...
Has it been moved? Has it been classified as extinct or in those countries?
I don't know. But in 1897, they decided to try and catch a Bigfoot in Brazil. So they left out different foods to sort of tempt Bigfoot, and Bigfoot ate... berries and nuts, but then escaped before they could catch it.
I feel like we need to put Bigfoot 8 in quotation marks. How are they sure it was Bigfoot?
Yeah. So they tried to
it?
catch it. Yeah, they watched it, and then they were trying to catch it, but it ran away.
So if you're really keen, go to Michigan with some berries and nuts.
And you might see one.
You might catch him.
Well, yeah, because it was interesting because the person that said they saw it a couple of weeks ago and took a photo is the first person in 10 or 15 years.
I feel like I haven't heard anything about it. All the photos you see are always really old photos.
Yeah, this is quite a new one, which is kind of cool.
Is it a photo, or did you just say he saw Bigfoot?
No, he had a photo.
Ooh.
Yeah. But anyway, what's interesting, random fact, apparently Bigfoot is the only animal that doesn't sneeze or make any type of sneezing function.
How do we know? We don't even know what kind of animal it is or whether it actually exists. How do we know if it sneezes? We don't know how we know how much it weighs.
Messenger.
I will shoot every messenger. I want concrete answers on this.
Well, all the statistics they got from this are obviously from something, but the thing is, was it a Bigfoot or was it just a giant ape?
Yeah.
That's the question on everybody's lips.
Everybody's lips. It's the talk of the town.
I wonder imagine if you spotted Bigfoot on the beaches.
I don't know where I would possibly spot him.
Probably somewhere
at the new Woolies, trying to get the golden gaynettos.
No, he'd be somewhere
Terry Hills?
No,
Duffy's Forest?
I feel like he'd be somewhere Ingleside, just kind of traipsing through.
Oh yeah, Ingleside.
Traipsing behind the Baha'i temple. Could be. I think he'd be in a quieter type suburb.
Yeah, I can imagine him being up in Ingleside. Guys,
we're going to go on a hunt.
On the weekend, Hope and I are going to head up there with some berries and some nuts.
And see if there are any giant footprints.
Yes.
That could belong to Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, big prints. Big feet.
Big feet. And Bigfoot with big feet. That'll show.
Anyway, we're going to get into some Beyonce now. Do you reckon Beyonce believes in Bigfoot?
Yeah, she's American. She totally does.
Well, there we go. We have definitive proof. Beyonce apparently believes in Bigfoot. This is Single Ladies. Enjoy. We'll catch you after this. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little Beyonce intermission thing. That was really fun. Well, I hope you guys are doing the dance. I was definitely doing the dance.
That song is fun. It will always be fun.
Even if...
You're not single.
no matter what you're feeling, you can't not do that dance. The like arms down and the hand and anyway.
It's true.
Look, if you guys have noticed the time, we've had a great show so far, but unfortunately it's the end of the show. It's the last segment. But there's still one more segment to go. And it is time for Suburb Focus. Everyone's favorite part of the week.
I like Suburb Focus.
Me too.
I'm just going to put it out there.
And this week we are heading to Forestville.
Yay, Forestville. That's close to where I grew up.
And I feel like I should have known this all along, but I finally found out what the name means.
Okay.
It means town in the forest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
It makes sense now, right?
Yeah. I kind of assumed so, but yeah, that's good to know.
So the area of Forestville was originally a thick wooded area until James French settled there and began felling timber in 1856.
James French, the person that founded French's Forest?
Yep. And eventually he built a small wharf on Bantry Bay to ship the timber over to Sydney.
Oh.
And later on he acquired the land, which was the adjacent suburb, which would become French's Forest.
He's greedy. He founded 2 suburbs.
Yeah. And he cut down all the trees, which they're doing again for the hospital.
Well, see, that makes sense because so his surname was French's, hence French's Forest, because the debate I always have with people that are not from the area is whether they think it's French Forest.
Yeah, no, it's French's Forest.
And they're like, but why is it French's? And I'm like, well, I think it was someone's name. Now
so they dropped the apostrophe.
Yeah. Huh. I suppose to make it easier.
This is going to sound really stupid, but like, did they have apostrophes back then? Did they use them properly?
Yeah, they used them.
For like possessive nouns and all that kind of stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. See, history. I don't know. That's what we didn't do either. We never found out how much I got the history. We'll do that in a second.
I'll tell you soon.
That was just a little memory jog. So, after this, so later on, after the Second World War, that area was called Soldier Settlement. And it was, so the farms were there for Second World War veterans to come back and work the land. However, it wasn't really very successful because the land around there, up towards Killarney Heights, is really unsuitable for farming. And so in the 60s, so a couple of decades after that, they developed it as housing land. That's why there's all those houses up there.
I suppose it's a bit dry.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for it to be bush, but it's not going to grow crops. So
no.
Yeah. And then outside that, there sort of hasn't been much happening. It's kind of an interesting history, but nothing compared to some of the towns up the coast, suburbs that have some really cool. The ones that had like pirates and stuff. That was a fun suburb. But
Forestville's just like a good normal. In the middle suburb.
Yeah, if you have any really fun facts about Forestville, please let us know because we've clearly missed them. But otherwise, it's a very low density housing area now because it's mainly family homes with middle-sized backyards and lots of parks and reserves and lots of bushland, which is good. And we have lots of native flora and fauna. If you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, we discussed the Domain Most Livable Suburbs.
Yep.
Their survey, and one of the things that came back was that the forest area was one of the most densely leafy areas.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, still very true, which is good.
That's true.
It is still a town in the forest, which is good to know.
Although hardly. Have you seen all the trees they've pulled up along Forest Way?
I know.
It's not so much in the forest anymore.
Makes me sad.
That's the thing.
Make James French proud. He was cutting down all the trees back then for timber.
I only just thought about it right now. Forestville was actually the first suburb I lived in.
Oh.
So I wasn't born in Forestville, but like my first house was in Forestville.
I went to primary school in Forestville.
There we go. And I lived in Forestville until I was like 4. But it's a good suburb because you're like close to the beaches and all the rest of the forest areas. But like Roseville is right there. So you've got the train and the North Shore right there as well. It's like one of those like intermediary suburbs that borders everything.
It's really well placed.
It's a great place.
Yeah, so if you have any cool facts about Forestville, please let us know if we've missed anything. But look, more importantly, how did I go on the history quiz?
Well, I am pleased and surprised to announce that you got a very commendable score of 7 out of 10.
Yes, that's almost 3/4.
It is. That is solid for you for history.
Yay, that is way better than I thought I was going to do.
I am most impressed.
Let us know, guys, if you did better than I did, which normally I'd say it's not that hard, but you have to get 8 or above to beat me this time.
It's true. But the thing with you is you're quite good at history. You're just not interested. So, like, if you hear
Yeah.
something new, you probably just won't bother remembering it because you don't really care.
True.
But what you do know, you know well.
And if there's been a movie about it that I've watched,
true.
I'm
If
going to
there's been
retain
some
it.
kind of like modernized, fictionized adaptation,
Yeah.
you will know at least the root of it.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Anyway, we're going to catch you guys next week. Have an excellent rest of the week. Catch you for the Retakeover on Friday, and we'll see you next Wednesday.